structure of skeletal muscle starts with tendons connecting to bones. The tendons are wrapped around the muscle which form the epimysium. Then there is tissue from the outer layer which stretches into the muscle, dividing it into columns called fascicles. Each fascicle is surrounded by similar tissue which is named the perimysium. And finally, within the perimysium there are many muscle cells or fibers, each surrounded by a plasma membrane. Inside the membrane, columns of fiber called myofibrils extend. Muscle cells have a striated appearance because of the alternating thin and thick filaments within the myofibril. The alternating thin and thick filaments are between structural units or sarcomeres. Inside the sarcomere is where the force of muscle contraction is generated. Before you start a workout, it is important to make sure your muscles are stretched to prevent injuries. Stretching involves lengthening of muscles while they are in a passive state, which means not contracted. It is beneficial because blood flow increases to your muscles so that your muscle cells will receive more oxygen to be used for creating ATP, which is the major energy source of the body. Before we begin the workout, let me first explain how muscle contraction works at the cellular level. Muscle contraction starts with a motor neuron from the spinal cord, sending an action potential down its axon. This action potential leads to acetylcholine being released from vesicles into the synapse. When acetylcholine binds to the receptor on the muscle cell membrane, it triggers a release of calcium from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is an organelle used for calcium storage in muscle cells. The calcium that is now in the cell binds to troponin, causing it to change its conformation and remove the blocking action of tropomyosin. Now the actin active sites are free. Contraction. Myosin cross bridges alternately attach to actin and detach, pulling actin filaments toward the center of the sarcomere. Release of energy by ATP hydrolysis powers the cross-bridge cycling process. The first workout is squats. This lifting exercise activates your quads, gluteus maximus, and your hamstring muscles primarily, and secondly, your abdomen and back muscles. As he increases the weight on the bar, he is increasing the force of contraction done by his muscles. With increased weight, more muscle cells are involved in the contraction. The next workout is the bench press. It activates the pectoral muscles of the chest, as well as the triceps and abdomen muscles. Again, when the weight is increased, so is the force of muscular contraction. So, how is it that muscles actually get bigger? When the muscles being used undergo intense exercise, there is a damage effect to the muscle fibers referred to as a muscle injury. This effect causes satellite cells to be activated. These cells are located on the outside of the muscle fibers but inside of the sarcolemma. Satellite cells fuse together into the muscle fibers and cause an increase in muscle fiber cross-sectional area or size of the muscle fibers. As satellite cells multiply, some remain on the muscle fiber, whereas the majority differentiate and fuse to muscle fibers to form new myofibrils, or repair damaged fibers. Therefore, the muscle cells' myofibrils will increase in thickness and number. The more there are, and the thicker they are, will show as overall muscle growth. So, you may ask, is lifting weights healthy? And the answer is yes. Becoming stronger by lifting weights and gaining muscle mass is good for the daily life. Also, your heart health can improve with weightlifting because blood flow and circulation improves too.